Tarsus says, Hope Braxton recovers from mental illness and addiction. Yes, a lot of that seems to be going on as well. Unfortunately, as the years go by and people do grow older, including myself, and patterns are in place, it really seems like out of this ordeal, it's unfortunate that happened to her, not planned or not, that there seems to be a circle of drama around her, and she's not pulling herself out of that. She's constantly submersing herself into drama and tragedy and misfortune. Who in the world would want to have their whole life be surrounded by that? Unfortunately, by living by example, there are people who do like drama. So it's a sad thing. So she could be just one of those people who fuel and survive off of drama. But in my waking life, my real life, there is a family member of mine I had to separate myself from, unfortunately, because he said he likes the drama. So I'm like, having said that, it explained a lot of everything. So I had to separate myself from a family member because of that. Because I don't want that in my world. That's just what it is. So yes, I like the comment, Hope from Tarsus. Hope Braxton recovers from her mental illness and addiction. It's a very serious thing out here, and I don't know who her circle of friends are, y'all. It's a sticky situation. Here's a sticky situation. So let me see if I have that starred. Now that I know the difference between her projects, I am very glad that she's deciding to hold the baton and work on one of the two projects, because I'm going to assume that out of the two projects, the EP is her favorite, and she's going to need something to keep her going while in recovery. It is good to have additional things to keep your mind off of the recovery, but my concern is, like Tarsus brought up, and unfortunately, if you loosely follow not Toni Braxton, but Tamar Braxton, there is an elephant in the room addressing her mental state. Not saying that she's crazy, but she needs a mental vacation. I mean, a real one, to just really unplug from everything and everyone. I don't know if she will be able to do it. Tamar Braxton has to be close to my age. Let me see. But it's like Tamar Braxton to me is an example of how the modern day people would crack when and if they lost social media and electricity for like a week. And that's kind of creepy. So let me put for roundabout history, Tamar Braxton. What are her alleged struggles in life? I'm waiting for AI overview to load. So what I asked here, Tamar Braxton, what are her alleged struggles in life? Let's see, copy, and let me put that into my notes really quickly. Y'all, this is so fun. I could be in the library all day. This is my library, but what I'm saying is, boy, I could spend the whole day open to close in the library, just being surrounded by books, researching, sneaking in my snacks, eating food. But this is what I do at home a lot. I really love being with my family, and I like to research and study and just yap and collect these guys. So right here I put Tamar Braxton, what are her alleged struggles in life? According to AI overview, based on public statements and news reports, Tamar Braxton alleged struggles include significant mental health challenges, difficulty family relationships, and trauma from the reality television industry. We've got Connie Harvey in the Heezy. OLS is still in the Heezy. And we also have Tarsus holding it down. Thank you guys for coming in. It means a lot on this Thursday. It's a nice quiet Thursday morning for me. A little calm and chill. My library vibes are on, even more so than yesterday, with my snacks in hand. Thank you guys for coming over. So I'm reading here some of the things that are going on with Tamar Braxton. Let me push this expand here. They've got under mental health struggles, there are a few bullet points, and it says in 2020, the attempt on her own life, depression and anxiety, and recent near passing away experience. So based on public statement and news reports, Tamar Braxton allegedly struggles with these things. And it's going to start with the top of the key, mental health struggles. 2020, oh man. She tried to take her own life. In July 2020, Braxton was found unconscious by her partner in Los Angeles hotel room. Following her hospitalization, she confirmed it was an attempt which she attributed to toxic systemic bondage of reality television. Now, every single time I hear someone on the reality TV shows, and they have like the interviews afterwards or the alleged private interviews, the story has always been the same, and I don't think they're making that up. They say it all after they go on a reality TV show that is based on someone's life, and it's supposed to be scripted as serious. I'm big, I'm bad, I'm cool. It always ends bad. Now, on the other hand, when I think about other reality TV shows, what comes to mind, it was a cool MTV TV show. I think it was like a guy, it was the guy from, it's a funny show. Yeah. It's a funny show. It's a Caucasian guy and a black guy. That was a reality show, but it was based on comical events. That ended well. It was good, like Rob and Rick or Rick and Rob or something. But there's two versions of reality TV shows: the fun, lighthearted ones and the drama-filled ones. Tamar Braxton is referring to the drama-filled ones. So after the reality TV show that she was in, it caused her to want to have those types of thoughts and feelings. We've got here Sarah's depression and anxiety. She has been open about her struggles with depression and anxiety, which she has said stem from her professional and personal experiences. Now, to me, she's been a professional all her life. She's been in Hollywood forever. Yes, sneaking a whole cow into the library. If you go in first thing in the morning, they're not going to notice you. And if you stay still and have your snacks at hand, you're good to go. There's nothing to worry about. I should know. Let me see here. I'm going to put a couple emojis in the chat just to lighten the mood. Let me see. Copy that. And then this quote, because it goes, I'm going to repost this in here because it goes well with me reading about Tamar Braxton's her rap sheet of health. And put that in there for her. And put that over there. And I'll save that one for later. So we have here in reference to Tamar Braxton's mental health struggles, recent near-death experience. In August 2025, Braxton shared that she almost died after she was found by a friend in a pool of blood with a facial injury. Come to find out, that happened August 17th, 2 days before the release of one of her projects. While the cause was unclear, she stated the incident completely changed her perspective and that her mental journey begins. There are several times where she said she wanted to basically do a factory reset and start anew. I know sometimes it's difficult for people to actually start anew. And I heard of the saying is get back on the horse and try again. But after how many times, once when someone falls off the horse of wanting to be better, do someone else intervene who may be stronger to help with this situation? You know, she's fallen off the horse millions and millions of times, and I haven't seen any progression in the right direction at all through the years. It unfortunately seems like she's getting worse. That's too bad. I remember she was on Iyanla Vanzant, and I actually thought Iyanla was going to be able to help her. She wasn't able to. I can say this while thinking out loud about Iyanla Vanzant fixed my life. There's a saying that says, there's two sayings, of course. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't get it to drink. Duh. The second one, which is also sad, is there are some people in life who unfortunately have to hit rock bottom. And from the outside looking in for us, I've seen many rock bottoms that Tamar Braxton has that she's hit. And to me, I would have learned my lesson a long time ago. So having said that, unfortunately for her, it may be one of those situations where how far of a bottom is it before she actually realizes that she really needs to stop what she's doing? That's pretty bad. How long is it going to take? You cannot save everyone, but if you're in the area to be able to provide information that could possibly help, that is if they want it. You cannot force it on them, neither. That's not right. That is if they want it. You can help, right? But with her, it really seems like from the outside looking in, y'all, I'm concerned. What exactly is her rock bottom? What is it going to take her to get out of the cycle of drama and misfortune and calamity, one thing after the other? It just don't make sense. But this is a good story because it's like, what can you take from this? It also shows that some people are given multiple chances to set things right. And with those multiple chances, what are they doing with it? Let's just say a new lease on life. This is a fine example of her blowing all of her chances. She's still here, you know, walking amongst the living, and her sister, who was good natured, is no longer with us. Now, how is that fair? But having said that, what can you do to make your life better? It seems to me she's happy where she is in the dysfunction. Like I said, I have a family member who openly admitted that he likes being around drama, being around the gossip and all that crap. It makes him happy. So I had to separate myself from that family member because that's not a good role to be around. You don't want to be around people like that. And that's where I leave it. There's basically nothing more to assess with Miss Tamar Braxton because we've seen that Iyanla Vanzant couldn't even help her. I saw that episode and I might watch it again. It just was like she was very rude and disrespectful to her, showing out, putting on the front. I'm like, wow, it's Iyanla. I know Iyanla Vanzant practiced a different type of faith, but my goodness, what does that have to do with giving someone their rightful respect? She didn't even do that. I'm like, girl. So that's what I have right there in reference to her. So I did type in where I'm at right now is Tamar Braxton. What are her alleged struggles in life? We have talked about right now mental health struggles, and there's 1, 2, 3 bullet points in reference to that. And then it goes to another subcategory, trauma from the reality TV show industry. I definitely want to read this because collectively, in the world of reality TV that's blanketed around celebrities and their trauma-filled, drama-filled life, they all have said life got worse after it, or they regret doing it, or it's not for the faint of heart, stuff like that. So I'm curious to read what is summarized here. Thank you guys for coming in, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. We've got let me go over here. Tarsus in the Heezy. Connie's still in here. Yeah, she does. But once again, it's one of those you can only lead a horse to water, and from afar, you can only pray for her and move forward. We've got OLS in the Heezy, Chile in the Heezy. Awesome. Thank you guys for your support. This is a long one, but I've been wanting to talk about Tamar Braxton for a while because she's a reflection of a lot of people in the industry by way of basically growing up in it, and we're seeing the aftermath of the effects. Having said that, you don't necessarily have to be in the industry to yield poor results like Tamar Braxton. This can happen in regular families. You could be the star of the family, you could be the black sheep of the family. Either way, the environment that you're brought up in will reflect how you turn out most of the time, unfortunately, in your adult life if left untreated. She is an example of many symptoms left unchecked and untreated in a healthy way, and now it's gone on so long it'll be more difficult to tame it. There's a lot of underlying situations going on with her. So back to trauma from the reality TV industry. Where's my water? Where's my water? Chile. Thank you so much. We've got exploitation and betrayal, distorted portrayal, unfair contracts. Boy. That's enough to make anybody lose their marbles. So trauma from the reality TV industry, exploitation and betrayal. Braxton has publicly blamed the reality TV industry for her mental health decline, stating she felt, quote, betrayed. Taken advantage of, overworked, and underpaid for years. Yes, it is a serious topic today. I've been wanting to talk about it since like last week, but also I was gathering information in the background to see if anything would pan out for the better and what exactly was going on, because last week it was just bubbling up and bubbling up and bubbling up, and then it finally popped. I'm like, oh my goodness, you know what, I'm going to talk about her. Excuse me. So yeah, today's a random Thursday and I wanted to talk about her. Let's see here. Distorted portrayal. She accused producers of manipulating and sensationalizing her life and her family on shows like The Braxton Family Values. That was on for a long time, wasn't it? That was a long running show, causing her immense emotional distress. She claims this manufactured negative portrayal damaged her reputation and mental health. And finally, in the category of trauma from the reality TV show industry, unfair contracts. Braxton alleged that her, quote, cry for help to be released from what she considered an unfair contract was ignored by the network. She says she received a breach letter shortly before her 2020 attempt to take her own life. This has been the pattern. A lot of the celebrities say it's contract situations, and they'll say they're like how you and I are talking, or how I'm talking with you guys and reading the notes. There's always someone who's being mean who will chop up the words and make it sound like she said something else, or like I said something else and I didn't say it, and so having to come back, that can be a mess too. But I'm going to say this too, just to be fair. TV show or not, some people, like I said, are just born messy and like to gossip. So if it's naturally in you and you go on a reality show, all they have to do is sit back and watch you work. Sometimes you should set yourself up for failure, because even when you think the camera is quote off and you get back to your quote comfortable self and you start talking about people naturally, it just runs out of you like rainwater, you're gonna get caught up in a lot of stuff. So how much blame can you place on the people in the background for quote manipulating stuff if it's naturally ingrained in you to be messy and backstabbing gossiper for fun anyways? It only magnifies your situation that you have. It's one thing to be on a reality TV show and to show the world who you are. They're going to exploit your insecurities, they're going to poach on them, and what makes it bad is if you are choosing to be in a land of denial and not acknowledge that you have an issue, and number two, refusing to fix it. What makes it a beautiful thing if you choose to be on a reality show is to be like, I'm totally insecure in this area. I know they're going to eat me alive by setting up the stage to make my insecurities be this and that. But if you accept that, talk to the audience while you work through it and get some help, it's a whole nother type of situation. But it's a big cross to bear if you're willing to do that or not. Most people decide to just hide it. Thusly, it might increase them to start drinking more. If they were a social drinker, it become more of a heavy drinker. It's because we're not dealing with the quote demons, and they just grow and get bigger, just like the anime cartoons, right? I understand the unfair contracts. That stuff is a scary situation with anybody, small, medium, or large, because it's tricky. So once again, I am reading out of curiosity, and this can help everybody who is in proxy to somebody who's suffering like Tamar Braxton mentally, emotionally and sexually and all that stuff, and just in a ball of confusion. We could use this as an example on how to get better and figure out how we can pick this apart to bring it to the table with the people who we claim we love and care, who may need some help. It's got here another one. It's called tumultuous family relationships. I did hear about that too. Hey, what's going on, Connie Harvey? Yeah, I think so too. I was saying there's some people who just love that stuff. So once it's been officially declared or by pattern, over time you see that that's just a pattern with no signs of change, then it's up to you or me to make the decision to separate from that party or said person, because then it becomes your fault for sticking around that mess. They've made their choice. So we've got tumultuous family relationships, sibling feuds. The family's dynamic has been featured on reality shows like Braxton Family Values and The Braxtons, highlighting frequent and public feuds between Braxtons and her sisters, particularly Tawanda and Tony. Now, it's a sad shame because all of their names are really cool, okay? But there's been sibling rivalry and stuff that has been happening throughout the years with the girls. Breach of trust. Braxton has claimed her family betrayed her trust, and we're talking about Tamar, guys. So once again, Braxton has claimed her family betrayed her trust. In October 2020 interview, she revealed that a family member allegedly gave producers information about her past essay, which was later made public on the show, causing her to feel betrayed. What's going on, Lasagna? Now, is that Lasagna? I think so. Hi and welcome. Sorry if I said your name wrong. So yeah, that is messed up. It takes me right back to the Oprah Winfrey situation. It was Oprah Winfrey and what's that lady's name? She's like, hello my babies, how are you doing? She is a comedian. She played in the Parkers. Oh man, what is that lady's name? But she goes on this rampant about talking about girls wearing bonnets, but nonetheless she felt betrayed by Oprah, and it's kind of a similar, well, in a similar situation where Oprah brought on her family who did her wrong in that regards of SA. So Monique felt betrayed by Oprah because that wasn't supposed to happen. She put all the family business like that on there after she said she wouldn't. I get it. It's a difference. It's a difference. So, on-screen friction, she has admitted that her intense passion could... What passion? On-screen friction, she has admitted that her intense passion could get on her sister's last nerves, and that starring on reality television caused division and communications issues with the family. Yeah. We've got, DV allegations, y'all. I'm not even down the rap sheet yet, but these are all the things that can contribute to anybody having some type of mental break, especially if you don't have a time to have some real R&R to detach from the situation. Let's talk about the people who choose not to want to wallow in dysfunction for a moment. For those of you who choose not to want to wallow in dysfunction, what are the things you can instantly do to try to separate yourself from said situations? Go for a walk. Some people pray and meditate. Some people go out to eat. There's a lot of instant things you can do to try to detach from that situation. So we've got DV allegations. Accusation with David Adefso, spelled ADEFESO, in 2020. Following her essay attempts, Braxton's then boyfriend David filed for a DV restraining order against her. Wow. See, it was the other way around. He filed it against her. He alleged that she was physically abusive towards him during an altercation. And that's coming from a long line of a rap sheet of having a lot of stuff going on. You're not supposed to put your hands on people. If you cannot get your point across using your good old vocal cords and giving it a little space and breathing and coming back to the situation, leave the situation. Girl, Braxton's denial. Braxton publicly denied the ADUSE claims and exposed hurt over her former partner's actions. The restraining order was later dismissed after neither party showed up to court. And lastly, is that lastly? We've got physical health issues. Wow. So on top of that, we've got physical health issues, y'all. You know, stress is a beast. If you continuously go through life over the years with unresolved issues, meaning holding grudges, is one thing that you can be guilty of, if we can keep it right there. If you're choosing to walk in a life of resentment, choosing to do that, choosing not to forgive someone, it can lead to those underlying health issues magnifying and making things worse. We all know this is a situation before C-19 hit us and told us the obvious. Stress intensifies underlying issues. So for Tamar Braxton, it's got physical health issues. It's got autoimmune conditions. Braxton was diagnosed with vitiligo in 2017. Sorry about that. We've got blood clots in 2017. Braxton was diagnosed with pulmonary embolism, which is blood clots in her lungs. We read about that earlier, which forced her to withdraw from Dancing with the Stars. And lastly, we've got thoracic outlet syndrome.